Today we are talking about EQ. Now, EQ is a really powerful tool for shaping your sound so that you can hear multiple sounds all at the same time, but still hear them really clearly. Now, if you don't know me, I am Brett Pontecorvo. I am the face behind LiveKeyboardist.com, where I help keyboard players learn how to thrive in a computer-based live musical situation. If you haven't yet, make sure you click that like button and subscribe. I'm here every week with new information for you. But without further ado, let's have a look at EQ. Now, Ableton has a couple of different EQs. We've got the EQ8, which is what you currently see up on the screen, but we also have the channel EQ, which looks like this, and also EQ3. Now, all EQs are basically the same. So if you haven't used an EQ before, the idea is pretty simple. It's just a way to turn volume up and down, but only on a specific frequency range. So if you're layering multiple sounds, especially if you kind of know ahead of time that you're going to be using sounds together, you may want to EQ them so that they complement each other. Also, sometimes when you process sounds, certain frequencies start to pop out, so you can use EQ to pull that down. So the best way to really learn this is just to kind of practice and do it. So I'm going to start with a piano sound that I made in Synth EQ, and basically it's just a really compressed giant. And you'll see I did have an EQ, but I've turned it off. So if you look over here, you'll see a bunch of lines over here. And basically what this is telling you is where the harmonic information is. So you'll see this guy here. There's a lot going on. We've got some rumbling on the low end. And this sort of mirrors the way your keyboard looks. So a sound that's played on the left hand of the keyboard is going to be a little bit heavier on the left, and a sound that's played on the right a little bit heavier on the right, as you can see. So EQ has a couple different types of filters, and the first one I want to talk about here is this high-pass filter. And what that does is it only allows the high end to go through. So really commonly, something that is done is just to set this filter here at about 90 hertz. And what that does is it takes some of this low end out. Now, it's not super extreme, or at least this one is not. But you really don't need that low energy coming from a piano sound. So unless you're really looking to get that low end, it's pretty safe to kind of cut that out there. Now, we've got some other options here. We've got this bell here, and we've got this guy here. So if you're looking to totally get rid of a specific frequency, you may want to choose him. And if you're looking to just alter things a little bit, you can go with this bell curve. But for now, what I want to do is I would like to find and see if there are any frequencies that need to be turned down because they're resonating in a funny way. So a really easy way to do that is to just play a chord and then grab one of these guys. I'm going to expand this here and listen to see if you get anything popping out. All right, so there's some like wah, wah, wah happening there. And we don't want that in our sound. So I'm just going to come in here and turn that down just a little bit. So here's with before, and here's with that on. So you're hearing just a little bit, slightly more clarity. And the key with this is to be subtle, right? We don't want to totally chop our sound up. Let's see if there's anything else that's doing some funky business. And I'm going to do the same here, and we'll pull this in a little bit tighter. And here it is with nothing. And with some EQ. So we've still got some power happening, but it's just been reined in a little bit. Now, I often like to boost the high end just a touch, and the reason for that is this is the part that really is going to stick out and shine in people's ears, and so I want to have a little extra there, and just so that it kind of says, hey, this is the piano. And there there we go. That's our piano sound. Now, we've got 2 patches here. This is from a sound design course that I just released. There's a link in the bottom, but here's my foundational patch. And this is just a pad sound. It's pretty simple. And you can see I EQ'd this as well. Here's with the EQ on. And here's with the EQ off. And it actually really comes to life, right? When that EQ turns on, something about this sound comes to life. But let's EQ this together, just so you can kind of get a feel for what I did and why. So I really scooped off the bottom using my high-pass filter. And the reason that... Oh, I didn't actually. I used this. And the reason for that is I just didn't really need that low end. That low end is meant to be taken up by other things, not this pad. And so nothing happening down there is really adding to my sound. Now you'll notice this pad, which is supposed to be covering the whole range, is kind of lacking in the top. So I just turn that up so slightly so we get a little bit more. And that's it. I'm good. Totally good. So what I'd like to do now is hear this piano and this pad together without the EQs. So here it is with no EQ. And now we're going to go ahead and play the same thing, but with our EQs turned on. So the piano is automatically cutting through way more, and honestly, I would, having heard these together, come in and pull out just a little bit here to make the piano even more prominent. All right, now let's have a listen to this guy over here. Now this sound is a little bit more textural, so here is what it sounds like. And this is created using Arturia pigments, and I've got a video about that if you want to check it out. So right away, I'm seeing there's some low-end stuff, and I don't want it there, so I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to sweep this up to about 100. And so with a synth like this, the question I want to be asking is, where do I want this to shine? Is this supposed to be something that I'm really only hearing in the higher register? Is this something that I want to really be hearing in a particular area? And I'm going to boost this just about here, and let's see how that sits with everything else. Turn these on here. I actually don't think that's quite right. Let's try and move it down a bit. That's working for me, and I'm going to add just a touch all the way at the top here. Maybe let's try pulling some out. And again, I'm just trying to kind of make room for the piano to come through here. And there you have it, folks. That is just some quick EQ tips that'll help you get your sounds popping. If you found value from this video, make sure you click that like button and the subscribe button to stay up to date with everything that's happening. Now, I've also got some links on the screen right now to a few other videos that I have done that talk a little bit about sound design and playing keyboard live. So go ahead and click on whichever one is most relevant to you, and I will see you next week.